Yeah, that doesn't bother me. The statue down in Times Square doesn't bother me. It was just all right. The sculptor himself, that's pretty impressive. If you gave me a lump of shit and said sculpt something, it wouldn't look like that. So on that level alone, I'm pretty impressed by the artist and what he was able to do. And I don't know how they make statues. It's crazy. That's like above my pay grade. That's for sure. Know what bothers me besides the instead of the 12-foot black woman statue, that would be Adam Silver and the NBA. They might as well finally say, okay. What happened to the podcast deal? It's almost signed, sealed, delivered, but people are making a big deal about it. I didn't say it was a big deal. I'm just moving my podcast from one place to the other, with a good chance of getting more marketing and a good chance of getting more people listening to my rubbish. So I will be talking about that. So it's like I said, it's not a huge deal. It's not like doing weekends on an AM station in New York City. I mean, that's a big deal. By the way, you would think, with Anthony going back to radio after all these years, there'd be a little buzz. There's no buzz. I live in New York City. There's no buzz on Anthony doing weekends on ABC. But what about you? We're not talking about me right now. You understand? I hope you understand. Do you still read super chats, or are they all trolls now? Yeah, if someone's going to give me money to troll me, I don't feel like reading that. It's not worth it. You can make some decent money if you read the super chats from trolls, but I don't feel like going down that road. So, but if you're cool and you give me a super chat, I'll give you a lot of attention on the big screen. Okay, that the statue can only be viewed for 4 hours a day. It won't work a full shift. I get it. Wrong show. Thoughts on ant recruiting pests for his ant. I have no thoughts. The only thoughts I have on Anthony is when you bring up the thoughts. That's the only time I have thoughts on Anthony is when you bring up Ross Dog's Broken Spirit giving me $5. If Fafa Fui reached out for a Stern interview, would you go on? Would you go along with his current softball style, or would there be fireworks? Oh, my God. First of all, it's one of these questions that is stupid. No offense, Ross Dogs, because I love you. You give me content. That's why I love you. Sometimes it's a little edgy. Sometimes but anyone that gives me content, I love. It's a stupid question because it's never going to happen. But I would absolutely accept an interview to be on Howard Stern, and I would just go in. Why would I do softball crap? No, I would go all in, and I would apologize for something, and then he would be like, you apologizing about this? It's bringing it up again. Oh my God, what are you doing?" But I would apologize for something, 100%. I've had a few apologies to people from my past. Yes, I have. I'm sorry that happened. I'm sorry you felt that way. I had no idea. It was a pressure cooker, the Opie and Anthony show, and I probably should have been more aware that what was going on was bothering you. So I hope you accept my apology. You're not living in the moment if you keep bringing up living in the moment. Man, Brian, I don't know what happened to you, man. I thought you're one of ours, but more and more you become more and more negative. But what's that about, Brian? Probably said something stupid about your Trump guy, right? Look, man, I tell everybody, I just say stupid stuff. Don't take it seriously. You know what? Please don't. No, I bring up living in the moment, Brian Parnas, because I don't think most people live in the moment. So if I could bring that to the attention of people through my little life from time to time, I'm going to do that. That's actually my motivation with that. Because I think we all get caught up in all the goddamn nonsense. There are people just losing their minds over a 12-foot black woman statue in Times Square. Who gives a shit? So I think it's my motivation to talk about living in the moment because I think it's important to people in general, and I got a bit of a platform, so I try to bring it up from time to time. I'm sorry if it bothers you. It's all about Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. I don't just speak a good game; I actually learn it. Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. That's where I make a few bucks. Although, people were generous today, so I greatly appreciate you giving me a few buckaroos in the super chat. Hit the like on the way out. Blah, 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 and blah.